When I say that, I mean that. And when I mean that, I say it. And what I'm saying is, when I say go after what you want, choose and claim it, you have to understand there's two ways of attaining. And yes, I am purposely rhyming now. There's two ways of attaining, and that's the natural way, and that is the unnatural way. To cheat, basically. To lie, to manipulate as opposed to manifesting. What you think of the two words, manipulation and manifestation. Now, as I mentioned, and what brought me to this little moment is that we are here together. That is for a reason. God don't make no mistakes. We are here for a reason. That is to show us that we're never right. We're never completely right. No one of us is ever completely right. And I think a part of it is allowing us to get boastful. It's allowing us to take things to our head and become haughty or start to showboat, start feeling self-righteous. Like when you know you right, you get to act in a certain way, doing the victory dance, and throwing it in people's face, but then it turn out even if you are completely right and you've proved your point, there's a certain thing as grace. There's a certain thing as solidarity. There's a certain thing as equanimity, and there's a certain thing as equity. You got equality, then you got equity. You got injustice, then you got equality, but then you have something called equity, where everybody has what they need, and if somebody else has more, needs more, then their needs are met too. Equality is where everybody gets the same thing, but sometimes people need more than other people. So if you give them, or if they attain the same as you, or it's evenly distributed, then their needs may not be met, and yours may be exceeded. And the natural way, the graceful way to handle that is to allow, is not to hoard your extra. I'm not saying go find somebody and give it to the first person you can that need it more than you, but naturally it's going to come to you since we're all here together. And you want to be discerning, you want to have discernment. And I'm not saying test people. Life is going to test them, and life is going to test you, and that is the test of life. To be able to release. To be able to release anything at any time for the greater good. And the point is, like, you choose what you want. You have a clear focus. All it takes is that determination, that decision, that resilience, that resolve, and full trust in that, full devotion to it. And you're going to achieve that and beyond. Everything surrounding that is positive, that is realistically proper, realistically enriching to you, and realistically practical, will start to materialize, manifest, start to occur in your life. And then it's up to you not to start getting proud, showboating. Which even if you do, you might be right to the day you die. Even past your kids' generation, you still might be right. Things change. In time, just like it heals all things, it reveals all things. So, right now, sure, you might have the upper hand and the advantage. Sure, you might have the say-so, quote-unquote power, the benefit, and that might last as long as you want. It might be enough for you to be able to take that to your credit. But there's a more complete point. There's a more complete lesson in the fact that we all here, and that some have and some don't, some will and some won't. Equity is when everyone has what they need, everyone has not just the same being what they need, but everyone has what they need, whether it's the same or not. You know what I mean? So it's enough air, man. It's enough water. It's enough water to power the retribution of the earth, the reconstruction of the pollution. It's enough water now. We can get energy from water. We can get food from water. Everything we need is in water. Okay? They say 70% of the body is water. 70% of the body is water. But 99% of molecules is water. That's every molecule within your body. And, water in the fourth stage of water. Like it's got 4 stages. Solid. And then it's like this intermediate substance sort of stage before it gets to liquid. And then it goes from liquid to vapor. So that's the 3 common ones is solid, liquid, vapor. And one thing we don't realize is that there's like this stage between solid and liquid where it's like distributing positive and negative charges to where now it's separating, it's making like its own sort of like distribution, where it's making its own like basic flow of energy. Water uses light to move. As they say, this memory in the water, right? And it's something I'm learning, and I'm just talking about water because resources are sufficient for there to be equity amongst everybody. Okay? So it's really, you gotta make that decision. And when I talk about what you choose and how to get it, you can demand it or you can claim it. It's not about what somebody's gonna give you. It's about you not keeping it from somebody else. Trying to have it instead of them. Or wanting to have more of it because you deserve it more, you want to use it better. You're doing too much thinking. At that point, you're stepping outside of the realm of harmony. At that point. Because the whole point is to harmonize. Even within yourself first, it's an alignment that needs to take place. You know what I'm saying? A strengthening of the structure, of balance, of symmetry within yourself. Your light and dark side, your better and worse half. your strengths and your weaknesses. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta just be natural about it. Nature is truth. You know? I guarantee if you gotta lie, if you gotta hide, if you gotta fake, if you gotta struggle and force it, then it's not meant, even if it is successful. You know what I mean? Because things change. You know? So, as far as like focusing on you, that's one thing to keep in mind, is that that's not in comparison to anything or anyone else. And it's gonna happen naturally. You know why? You know why? You know what it is? It's just that fools be trying to make sure, because they so skeptical, they so worried, they so fucking nervous. So nervous. I don't even know what the fuck the word is. Nervous? What? Nervous? Pick what you want. Claim it. There's no place for nervousness. Now, don't get me wrong. You can be in the middle of some shit you want by surprise. And, you know, your endorphins get to going and you catch what is called adrenaline. Adrenaline rush. Don't get me, look, I just froze up the other time. I didn't necessarily froze up. I just was like, it got real for me out of nowhere. Not that I wasn't ready, but it involved other people. So it was like, even though I knew what to do and what the options were for me, I'm always open. Like, I don't have to do what I want every time. It's not even about that I want to, especially if it's not what you want and it involves you. Because I don't have a problem going and doing what the fuck I'm doing to myself. I'm not a lonely person. Like, I don't like not being there for my people, for my friends, for my family, for my loved ones, for my even for my, you know what I mean, for my community, for my audience. Especially they got something they want to do together, even if it's just nothing. I'm not tripping on that. I'm gonna make it fun for us. Not make it fun, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, that's what motherfuckers be so worried about, so nervous about, is that you own bullshit too. It's too much for us to be okay. It's too much to have to accept that even though this shit shouldn't be going on, that it is. Because that's a lot to accept. But it's more to assume, there's even way more to assume that there's no chance that it deserves to be better, or that it's not gonna stay better if it gets better. It's more to assume that than it is so drastic and as intense as it is to embrace the beauty of the fact that life is designed to serve you. Life is designed to nurture and nourish you, to satisfy you, to appease you naturally, completely, internally, eternally. Like I always say, one moment of love is worth all life. 1 second of love, what is, you love your woman, You love your children, your parents. One moment, bro, you experience that is worth every second, every life, bro. Otherwise, what's the point? You feel me? That's what make life special, is those connections between people. But life come with an abundance of that. Or at least if you have any moment of that, of any real moment of that, then that is abundant. If it's real, that's what I'm saying, I'm talking about real. Not what we will settle for. Not what we want to make it so that it's safe, that when it stopped and we ain't gotta feel as bad. Not some good enough for now type shit. I'm talking about some shit you cannot control. That's not designed, that's not made, that's not meant to be controlled. The very essence of spontaneity, of surprise, of, of reward, of, you know what I mean, of growth. It is growth itself, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's healthy growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So that's why I say any moment of that is worth all life, because see, life itself would not be what it is without that element. Feeding it, you know. And so when we try to like micromanage situations and interactions and connections, like, oh, well, shit, this is the best I'm gonna get out of this nigga because his capacity is only so, and that's fine, but let it be what it is and don't try to, you know what I mean, like, do it condescendingly and spitefully, like, oh, shit, like, I gotta do what I gotta do, and, that's the way shit is. Like, it's how you make it, it's how you allow it to be. Well, things are how you make it, first of all. So, like, don't come at me like, oh, well, that's all I can do. Ain't no limit to what you can do. Except for if you're a man, you can't be no woman. And if you're a woman, you can't be no man, no matter what the doctor do or say. That's the only limitation. If you're black, you can't be white, but there's no difference. There's no, that's not a bad thing. Just like if you're a man, you can't be a woman, it's not a bad thing. It's not bad, that's the way it is. That's the way God made it, for a reason. It's beautiful, you ask me. It's beyond beautiful. It's not even a word that describes it. So that's what situation like cats be motherfucking trying to limit your shit because they scared that you ain't on some bullshit and they gonna reveal the bullshit they on, when deep down they already know that they on some bullshit. Otherwise, they wouldn't have no issues with nothing. Like me, I don't have no issues with nothing. I never had no issues with nothing. Now my issue is motherfuckers having issues with me not having issues with shit. It's the only issue I got now. Motherfuckers having issues with me not having issues with shit. And that bring the gargoyle out of me. Because it's not that I don't know how to have an issue with a nigga. I'm not a petty person. I'm not a superficial individual. I'm not a, you know what I mean? I'm not petty like that. I don't need to get back at you. I'm going to forget. I'm gonna forget. Because there's way more lovely things to focus on and give your attention to. To where I'm literally going to forget, my nigga. And that's why I hate when I trip at all. But I have to realize, like, I don't be tripping, so it's a reason why I'm tripping. Like, motherfuckers will guard their way, nigga, just to make sure that you on some bullshit. Because if you not on some bullshit, then that reveals that somebody could live their life and not have to bullshit. Which is that rare in this special time that we have. And no, this is the facts right now. You're going to encounter a plethora, a kaleidoscope of personality types, quote unquote, psychological frameworks, whatever type of fucking label or category you want to put it in. There ain't no right or wrong. It's only real and fake. Real right now is rare. It's not safe to mean what you say and say what you mean. You become a target, and this is what I'm talking about. People got more time to turn against you than to look within. To focus on what's before them and the tools that they've been bestowed. Because even if you don't have the same tools as the next person, you got tools that's perfect for whatever your project is. It's a whole science to it. In the motherland, they call it Ubuntu. Or you can liken it to Harambe, right? But we all have a particular position, a role in society, basically. And this is dictated by our alignment, our assignment, our astrological assignment, for one. That plays a part in it. That'll help you that'll help you describe it, or I guess you could say distinguish it. Because we all have a structure. There's a proven structure, and it don't involve opinions. It don't involve, attitudes, nigga. It don't. First of all, you're a man, so you shouldn't have no feelings about me. You shouldn't have no feelings about nothing. You should be busy working as a man. You should be focused. Your attention should be focused, nigga, on work, nigga. If you're a man, simple as that. Ain't no room for nothing else. There ain't no room for nothing else. If I see another nigga getting an attitude, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do, yo. This shit don't make no fucking sense, dog. Like, when did that become alright? Like, where I come from, that shit is not alright, my nigga. This is a nigga with attitude right now. I feel like a bitch bitching about it. But I'll do some shit about the shit before I have anything to say, which is why I have to say something. Because what I'll do will make it not a factor. And we won't have to worry about it no more, which we don't have to worry about it now because it's going to cancel itself out. Like I always say, what is significant will outlast. And so, because I realized that sometimes you gotta see it through, you gotta allow things their own space, but then that space starts to bleed over into our space, you know what I mean? And start to, spoil our party and shit when it's time to party right now. Like, we had enough of that already, like, you know what I mean? Now it's time to, like, really take our shoes off, man, hop in the pool, you know what I mean? Get butt naked right now. And hop in the pool, yo. There's only so much space in this pool. Like, hey, it's a jacuzzi on the roof. Shit, how many pools this house hold? Shit, we got a pool on the roof. We got a pool, you know what I mean? In the backyard, we got a pool on the deck. It's a lot of pools. The shit, the pools is empty. The motherfuckers still got their clothes on. Shit, nigga. I'm butt naked in this jacuzzi, homie. You can find me butt naked in a jacuzzi. That's all I'm saying, yo. Because I had a long day, homie. Working, homie. You know what I mean? Being inclusive. You know what I mean? Dividing my attention. You know what I mean? Evenly. You feel me? When the highest form of love is to give someone your attention, people are so starved. They try to force you not to love them. Selfishly making you have to love them more than they even loving you by loving that you loving them. And that's hard to do. We forgot how to love that somebody's loving us, because the very nature of love is to heal. And if something ain't wrong, how you going to heal it? What's the next step after healing? That's where we're at right now. This manifestation. You know what I mean? It's ascension, evolution, it's growth after healing. We still sick, we still wounded. We wounding ourselves with the love. You know? And that's backwards. Let me start this off by just explaining, expressing, proclaiming, asserting how grateful I am. How grateful I can't help but be. Though for me to say it is evidence, is very telling to the fact that I'm not half as grateful as I should be, because, you know, gratitude is unspoken, it's taboo. It's something that is understood, you know, is unspokenly understood. The best way to show your gratitude is just to be grateful. The best way to express it is to do it. It's through action, not words. However, a lot of people can get sometimes your intention is misinterpreted. The context of what you are saying without, of course, clarifying your stance, your foundation of projection, your platform. It just helps to, you know, I just want to, you know, to be a reminder. It helps to, you know, not justify. It just helps to reassure sensitive motherfuckers. Like, motherfuckers be sensitive, you know, all emotional. It's a real emotional time right now. It's a real anxious time right now. It's a real volatile time right now, you know. Motherfuckers' whole universe is crumbling around them, you know. It's like fear is natural, because it's like they say you fear on what you don't understand, you know. So it's like right now our understanding of life itself is even being challenged, you know, with all the technological advancements, scientific discoveries happening, all these different theories floating around, and, you know, you know what I mean, revolts and revolutions, and, you know what I mean, just challenges, really, pretty much. First of all, like, when the basis of your entire, like, approach is not really sound in reality, because, of course, it's like to protect you from having to deal with it, and for whatever reason you're not able to, or you don't deal with it, then it's left undone. You know, when through that faith in reality, you can kind of put a header there, like a placard there, you know, until you fall across the capability to see it through, as opposed to taking the chance of starting and not being able to finish it. And so, like, it's something I do understand. It's not that I understand it. It's just that everything is love. Everything there is no illusion. Okay? Even if an illusion is an illusion, it is real that is an illusion, yes. So that is the reality. The illusion is the reality. You understand? So all it is light. Even darkness is just the lack of light. But it will be asinine to think of darkness, to think of light as the lack of darkness. Right? So it's like, that's kind of like what I mean. But what's happening right now is for those that are illuminated, that do have clarity, that have not denied their inner knowing, their natural sixth sense, the clairvoyant vision with these placards, with these lenses, with these screens and filters, so as to protect their sensitive ass retinas. What's happening right now is, as we all always are, being at any given moment, a fucking comet gets fly out of anywhere, smack Earth, and ain't no more Earth. Ain't no more motherfucking humankind, just like that. Nigga, you ain't finna predict no comet smacking us. You ain't finna predict shit, nigga. Anything can happen. Any one thing can go wrong at any moment. Okay, we're always a eyelash away from annihilation, which is even more reason why this to be more celebratory and not passive, but at least acceptant and tolerant and forgiving, and inclusive, and you know what I mean, revolutionary, as well as you know what I mean, just innovative. That's all the more reason, because at any given moment you can crack the code to telepathy, as well as teleportation. You know what I mean? You can master the travel bounce between dimensions and be able to come back to your body and write it as a math equation. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's far from impossible. It's more probable than it is even possible. Especially if you don't put the idea out of your mind. And that's not the point. It's like all these fantastic outer worldly experiences we here on Earth is the part. That's the part. We here on Earth as humans, as material manifestations, as materializations. Man infesting. A manifestation. Okay? Infesting this earth, you feel me? And that's what it is right now until it ain't nothing else. And even if it is something else, that's what it is. It's part of it. It's all part of the same thing. And what I think of when I say the word manifest is fest. Do you know what a fest is? Do you know what a motherfucking fiesta is? It is a celebration. Okay? And that's what's happening right now. Like, all of these fragile, all of these volatile, temperamental approaches and outlooks and emotional reservations, they want to pull you down with them. You know what I mean? It's like niggas are scared that you're going to have too much fun without them and shit. Like, you feel me? Like, and it's like they rather you not have no fun unless they having fun. You ever meet a motherfucker like that? I'm sure you have. You've been to school with them. They're called losers. No, you got the jealous people. I don't really know what to call them. I'm not calling nobody nothing. All I'm saying is, we in the promised land. You know, like, you can't expect too much out of a good thing. There's a such thing as too much of a good thing, you know. And we're here to just enough to go around. If we were to convert the desert to green, fertile land, which it can be converted to green, fertile land, even in the heat. The water power, the free water power technology is there. Just research it, to be honest. If we were to go underneath Antarctica, it's wells and there's miles of fresh water there. We can grow on the land underneath the ice. It's melting now. But we ain't gotta wait for it to melt to grow on it, to be honest. I'm just saying, like, these could be like different hubs, like different, like, you know, sanctions of the extra food for the population. If you want to talk about overpopulation and all that shit, like, that's inhabitable land. That Sahara Desert. You know? If we were to approach it in a more altruistic, like, utopic, not really utopic, it's really like utopic. What would be best? What would be most ideal? You know, beneficial to everybody. Which is the choice that needs to be made. You know, we kind of waiting to try to see, like, who gonna basically snatch up the dibs to a rewarding experience. You know, every person born has a right to freedom, has a right to happiness. Every person born, unless they get that right up by the 3 laws of the land. Letting your thoughts or your actions interrupt or interfere with someone else's peace and peace of mind, which is happening every day. It happens because it's like, you don't want people don't want you to forget about them. You know what I mean? Like, you get in a good mode and you zone out. Like, you get in you start walking in your power. You start developing your skills and healing your ills to where now you can't be fucked with. And that's when motherfuckers want to fuck with you, just to test your balls. You know what I mean? But it's like, why they got time for that? We don't have time for that right now. And because we have less time than we even deserve to have for that dumbass shit. For somebody to want to do it as long as they can or as long as they want, even though it'd be better for them to just focus on themselves. But none of us are the same. None of us have the same environment. Was nurtured in the same sort of, sort of cultivation. That's another word, cultivation. You know what I mean? Manifestation and cultivation. What's the difference between cultivation and manifestation? Well, that's the difference. Your cultivation is what develops your manifestation. You know what I mean? Like, the manifestation that is your life comes from the cultivation of your parents and their parents' parents and your community and your region and all that shit. You know what I mean? Just like, it's really that cut and dry. It's really that straightforward. It's really that raw. I mean, it's exceptions to every rule. Some people are multicultural. Some people are a little bit more seasoned, have influences from different walks of life or different circles. And so their cultivation influences their manifestation more universally than just what would be so standard for the common individual in a particular place or in a particular time. But as far as time, we don't have enough time for that. For you to be worried about nobody else. First of all, through changing yourself, it's going to bleed out in order to correct and neutralize and reverse and influence whatever the fuck it is that you want to feel like you wouldn't prefer that somebody else is doing. Because I've never had a problem feeling no way about nobody else. And that's how I know that this shit is out of hand, because I find myself having to think about another person, and I don't think about other people ever. I respect you for what you want to choose. It's your right to choose what you want, and I will help you do whatever the fuck you want to do, even if it's illegal. Even if I don't even get a cut. I'm not some type of schmuck or a chump, so I'm not going to really be doing too much crime with you for free. But one good time, just for the fuck of it, I'm just that crazy. I don't give a fuck, nigga. And if you feel like you finna use me again, then that's a whole nother story. Especially, you know what I mean? I did it once already. What the fuck I'm gonna do it again for? Especially you trying to pay me. You know what I mean? And I'm not the type of nigga that's gonna sit around and wait and try to rob you later. I mean, if I have an opportunity to have what I said I had, to get my share, and it ain't, infringed upon my morals and my standards as a person, which I don't have really super high standards all the time, but for the most part, you know what I mean, I'm pretty balanced. All I'm saying is, do you right now. Don't worry about or wait for what another person think or what another person is doing. However, it will apply, enhance, allow that or not. Just don't fight it, don't force it. Please. You don't have the time. Your neighbor don't have the time. Your family don't have the time. Right now. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole trick that's being played. Like, we all have this window right now for a new world. For a true world. But if we let it slip through our hands trying to worry about who's gonna be able to experience it over the next person, then nobody's gonna get the chance. It's just that special. You know how something can be that special where you fuck around and want it too bad, you don't get none of it. You know what I mean? Like you crack the baddest, bro, like the prom queen, right? And you go through everything to actually to the prom, right? And she's dating nigga the most popular jock at the high school. And you get your chance because you kept it all the way solid with her. And she's a cool girl, and that's why you like her, because she ain't just beautiful, but she's cool too. It seemed like it's like one of the movies back from the 90s, early 90s, late 80s or something. And it seems like a plot from some sort of fucking movie starring Corey Haim and fucking, whoever the fuck, not Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks. He was a dope ass actor from that point. I used to love Jim Belushi. Jim Belushi was dope. Who else was sick back then? Your boy, that one nigga, what's the color name? You know, the dude, he's in all those movies. What's the dude's name? I'll keep forgetting his name. What movie was he in? I can't have, I'm telling you right now, I'm so burnt right now. I'm so burnt. But this is something you know, but I gotta tell you so because you feel like it don't matter. Like, nobody cared. But it don't matter if nobody cared. It's integral to reality. So you ask the prom queen, and because you have enough courage to do so, to give you a chance. But you can't believe it. You're scared because even though she said yeah, and it's guaranteed, it's your birthright, you don't want to fuck it up. So you start doing everything to try to make it go how you want it to go, as opposed to just letting it go how it can go, because the odds are in your favor. How much more can you ask for? Like, she already didn't say no. You know what I'm saying? So now, the rest of it is just making sure she have fun. You gotta take yourself out of it at this point now. Because that's why she said yes to you, because the jock is thinking about itself. The jock care more about being seen than seeing her. Okay? The jock could go with anybody he want, just like she can. But obviously, that's not nothing he's focused on enough. And she is trusting that you're focused on that, as opposed to trying to be like the jock or trying to be better than the motherfucking jock. Fuck that nigga. Matter of fact, don't think about the nigga. Don't do it because of what she's doing, about what he's doing or what he ain't doing. And don't think about the fact that has a factor in her heart, because that's not the point. Because it's not even that. It's not that it got to do with him. It's got to do with her and herself. It's related to the situation, because that's just time. That's just the situation. That's just the cultivation of the situation. But what will we manifest at this point? Are we going to have a hot night? Into the morning? Are we going to ruin it and waste a good tuxedo? To be honest, it's best to be a lot more compassionate. It's hard to be thoughtful. I'm a Scorpio. I think one of our personality traits is self-centeredness. I believe it's true, because even though, like, I care about people and I like to make them understand and show how much I care about them, how much they mean to me, and I know how to, I don't always think to do it at the first opportunity or as much as somebody might be used to. And I'll be making me mad when I get a well-raised girl, right? And she had a good dad, you know, and loving brothers and shit, because I don't be knowing how to handle them. Not that I don't be knowing how to handle them. I don't always treat them so, you know what I mean, as precious. In enough ways, I do in my own way. I'm not tripping on that. I'm just saying, like, to kind of like where it comes, just like second nature for me to always just like, you know what I mean, like reinforce it, go above and beyond, which I know that I can do that every now and then in my own ways, but in enough ways, I think it's become mechanical nowadays, for one, and I'm just not the typical nigga like that, to be honest. I'm really not. And it's like, it becomes like a textbook sort of, you know what I mean? Like a checklist, like, okay, did you make sure you did this? And like, I shouldn't have to make sure of some shit. Like some shit you shouldn't have to make sure of. Like some shit should just come natural. Like you should express to me what you like. Like if I do one thing you do like, you should tell me something else that you do like, because I can take it. I'm not gonna, you know, be offended or feel like, oh, you don't appreciate what I did do because you're telling me what else I could do. Or trying to, and you shouldn't have to tell me either. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I'm good sometimes I'm not good with that. And I just really applaud or really appreciate how good some people are in being able to read people in situations. You know, however, a lot of people do that shit like to make you need them to take advantage of the not codependency, but like cooperation. It's a word. It's called. Dang, I just learned it. I just forgot it already. It's called something. Where it's like, you know what I mean? Well, since we're here together, yes, there's certain things that we can interchange on. But if you're trying to act like, oh, well, I'm weaker or I'm less because I need you, then I can't fuck with you. Because I'm going to put my heart in what I contribute, yo. Just for the mere fact that I have the opportunity to contribute. And that I can be understood, or that I can be, you know, involved. And I appreciate that, because it's like, now we can both have fun. together. Like, you know, you can have your kind of fun, I have my kind of fun. We both like to have the same kind of fun. Then that's 4 times the fun now. Because whatever type of fun you like to have, I'm gonna make sure I'm having fun while you having fun doing it. But motherfuckers try to act like, well, if you don't have the same type of fun that they have, then they can't have fun with you around them while they trying to have fun, or you can't have fun with them because you don't have fun like they do. Like, you ain't even having fun. Worried about how much fun another motherfucker having. Like, that should be making. I don't really like that shit. Like, nigga, my nigga, like, bro, you don't know how, you don't even know my different styles of fun. I got a sharp as assortments. I got also assortments of capacities of wilding out. You know what I mean? And just, I really do, but you ain't gonna know because I don't know if that's something that you really trying to go there like that. If you really, you know what I mean? If you're that intense with all that, you know what I mean? How you get, you know? You gonna become a liability, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to have you have to keep no secrets or nothing, you know, or try to protect nobody else's feelings. I don't know if you sensitive what, but you know, there's no reason why you want to act like, if I'm ready or if I'm experienced enough, bro. I'm not a typical person. I'm not gonna do what a regular nigga would do. I'm irregular, okay? I do things differently, okay? Every time. Even if I'm doing the same thing, I'm gonna do it a different way. Every time. Because I like variety. I like to expand my experience, not to take it out of context, but allow it to be as marvelous as it deserves to be, like as it's made to be. Like, motherfuckers want to limit your shit, basically, like, because they scare you gonna be greedy or you gonna not remember them or think of them first enough, which happens. But you can't be worried about that. You taking away from your own experience doing it. For one. Now you are only seeing the glass is half full when that's not even your glass. For one, first of all, you looking at my glass. That's that's full as long as it got any in it. It's full of what it's full of, nigga. If it got any in it, it's full. If it got any in it, it's full for me. So now when you look at yours, and you might have less than me, now you comparing. Or you might even have more, and you still comparing. Now you trying to say, I ain't got enough. It's like, you know what I mean? Niggas want to limit your shit because they feel like if you got it, then that means that they should be able to have it too. And if they ain't got it, then you shouldn't have it. And be around them because they have the capacity to interfere. And that's not fair. Because why would anybody expect for you to be fucking with them? They ain't got no reason to fuck with you. You know what I mean? And that's where we at right now. And understand, like, it's a test to your tolerance. It's a test to your maturity. But people try to, I was reading something today, the lady said it was about meta-awareness and attention and the importance of attention. The powerfulness, the powerfulness of attention. And she was saying how to give someone your attention is one of the highest forms of love. It's to acknowledge somebody, it's to recognize them. It's to relate to them. It's to understand them. And that's the facts. Like, however, like, we don't have the time for the bullshit. Like, if you just like going out your way to try to steal my attention from me because you jealous that I'm gonna focus it sincerely, when you should appreciate that that I'm sincerely even consider you, even if I'm not the best person to do it. But see, if you used to the best way, then why you ain't fucking with them? Because because they got you wrapped around their finger, manipulating your ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna manipulate you, yo. Like, everybody got different ways they like to be, then they like to interact. And if we click, we click. Like, and nothing gonna stop me from being able to connect with you without even trying. But not everybody click like that. You know what I mean? Especially if we're not like on the same level, we're not in the same direction. Like, we're not even, got the same sort of vision, And that's fine. You might see things differently. But it's not a competition. Like, it's no better or worse. It's just differences. Contrasts don't have to be conflictions. So that's the situation. Like, niggas try to limit your shit, basically. Because they convinced in their mind that things are only supposed to go a certain way. And they also know subconsciously that if you do deserve the blessing in your life, you should be able to handle whatever you encounter. However, like I said, we don't have time for that extra thinking for your extra thinking on somebody else's behalf, yo. When you can just as easily work together towards whatever both of y'all desire, which is going to have to happen anyway, eventually. And so it's like people playing it safe because if it do go away or another way, then they want to already have, a head start or some momentum. But it's like, but you kind of like making it have to go that way. Otherwise, you kind of fucking it up. So that's where that fear come in. But it's like sometimes it's like it's a protection mechanism and shit. But like, no, yo, you gotta let God protect you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, nothing's gonna threaten reality. Nothing can threaten it real. And whatever God has blessed can and curse. And the way you get God blessing is by love. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Motherfuckers would drag the shit out too, straight up. Milk you straight up, what is it called? Stall you out, you know what I mean? To where they get every bit of ounce of attention just because a nigga give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, well, look, I'm not really tripping. It could be worse. Look, maybe you was in a bad mood, or you didn't know that I would be cool, or you didn't know that I'm not really tripping and that I really care about us being able to have a common ground. More so than me being right, or more my be able to take advantage of my opportunity as soon as possible so that I ain't got to worry about fucking with niggas that's trying to fuck with me. I'm not worried about a fucking thing to begin with. So I got time for what you ain't got time for, but you ain't got the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be making progressions. And every step I take is multiplied times every step I ever took. So if I take one step, I take another step, that's 2 steps. The next step I take is going to be 4 steps. The next step I take after that's going to be 8 steps. The next step I take after that's going to be 16 steps. In each of them steps, I'm on step. I ain't even stepping no more, homie. I ain't stepping no more. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got a problem walking with you. But if you trying to act like you lost when you just want to stall, then I'm be like, bro, where the party at? I thought you said you knew what a party was. I know what a party at. But you said you knew where it was at. So I'm going to go the way you feel like you want to go. Even though I can say, no, bro, just come this way. Or you go to your party, I go to my party. I know where your party at too. I'm going to be at both the parties. I don't know what the fuck wrong with you while we still ain't partying. We forgot how to love that somebody's loving us. Because the very nature of love is to heal. And if something ain't wrong, how you gonna heal it? What's the next step after healing? That's where we're at right now. It's manifestation, ascension, evolution, growth after healing. We still sick, we still wounded. We wounding ourselves with the love. You know? And that's backwards. Feel me? Anyway, that's like little part of the shit, you know what I mean? Like I be writing about it, but I don't like writing about arbitrary shit, you know, harping on, you feel me, like the deterioration or the you know, negative. Now I don't want to say negative, you know, it's because it's not necessarily negative. But I like to celebrate the beauty, like, you know, when I write, nigga, I'm not gonna complain. You feel me? Like, I'm not trying to complain. It's not a complaint. It's a petition. Yeah. This right here is to let you know, like, the time is now, like, for us to build. You know what I mean? We need to be working. Men need to be working. Figure out, like I said, figure out what you want. Choose it. Claim it. Choose and claim it. The next day, you know what I mean? Finish it. You know, complete it. You know what I mean? And shit, nigga, enhance it. You know, update it. You ain't never gonna stop. So you might as well start, like, you know, what it is that you know what I mean? You only get one life, like, you feel me? Like, yeah, like, if you can, however you can, and a little bit you can, it's gonna expand the more you do. Because that's the way life is designed, to serve you. This is the facts, dog. I can't waste my time or spend more time than is needed or that's even fucking practical, proving it to you and doing it at the same time to make you feel better about the fact that you won't holler at me so we can do it together. And you know where I'm at, yo. Thank you. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to just contribute to anything. You know what I mean? Like, in my look, don't trip. My shit is always exemplary, cuz. You understand? Like, I'm gonna keep it flavorful. I'm gonna keep it flavorful. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be mad that you finish when it's done. But you know, I want you to shine too. We all here to shine as reflections of the Most High Divine. You know what I mean? And we reflect off of each other. So that's the situation right now. You know? And so I just want the light show to just be that much more like dynamic. That's my favorite word, dynamic. Yeah. Because when you focus, this is the last point I'm gonna make for today. When you focus this light beam, you have multiple light beams, and in one direction, it becomes a laser, and that laser becomes powerful and it cuts through anything. You know, if we put our mind to it, there's nothing that's going to stop it, except for it not being proper. And whatever you put your mind to that's improper, you're going to lose attention. Unless that fire is fed from outside, equally as improper and imbalanced, unhealthy element, which feeds off of each other. And that just goes to show, and that goes it's telling to the situation how we are in the codependent, while we are a coherent entity, coherent fucking, I don't want to say machine, coherent, you know what I mean, existence. So we either use it to our advantage or, against each other. yeah, so I'm open and I'm interested in your ideas, your suggestions towards interactively nourishing, inclusively beneficial operation, like cooperation. Like, you know, all right, I got some other shit I'm doing.